Good evening and many thanks for joining us. I am Ansmane Sonyasi and you're watching QTV News, coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. First, here are the main news headlines. After a few days stay in Medina visiting holy historic sites, Gambian pilgrims on Tuesday left Medina for Mecca, where they performed their first tawaf at the Kaaba on Wednesday morning. As Eid al-Adha, locally known as Tobaski, draws near, QTV visited Abuko Central Abattoir to engage ram sellers on their business activities this year. Personnel of the Gambia Armed Forces have graduated after successfully completing training on core competences in peacekeeping operations. And the Ministry of Health and Partners wrapped up celebrations marking World Blood Donor Day 2023 at Brikama District Hospital. In sports news, the Gambia competed in their first event at the Special Olympic World Games Berlin 2023 male and female categories. Stay tuned as we bring you more on these and other stories. Now, after a few days stay in Medina visiting holy historic sites, Gambian pilgrims on Tuesday left Medina for Mecca, where they performed their first tawaf at the Kaaba on Wednesday morning. Babukar Sise is in Mecca and this is his report.
The pilgrims, all dressed in their white clothes or ihram, left Medina at 12 p.m. Saudi time. Every pilgrim wearing the white ihram is significant because it signifies that in front of Allah there is no rich nor poor and everyone is equal. On their way to Mecca, which is approximately 8 hours journey, pilgrims will have their first stop at Biru Ali. The managing director of Tiwawon Travel and Tours, Aja Adlet C, explains.
As a Hujjaj, you have to have a miqat where you do your intention. If you leave Medina coming to Mecca, our miqat is Dhul Hulayfa, Biru Ali. That's why we went there, pray 2 rakah in the mosque, Fatiha Huliya Yal Kafirun, Fatiha Huliya Ahad, and did our intention. Alhamdulillah, and started Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik.
Alhamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak.
After the long journey, pilgrims finally arrived in Mecca and booked into their hotel after a rousing welcome at the hotel reception. This will be a busy night because at 4 a.m. all the pilgrims gathered outside their hotel, then set off to Masjid al-Haram, where the Kaaba is located, to perform tawaf. Before this, the elderly and special need pilgrims were the first to be cared for.
We at Tiwawon Travel and Tours, we are very concerned about the welfare of our elderly and pilgrims with special needs. So before we leave to do anything, especially the different tawafs, when it's time to do it, we make sure that pilgrims, the elderly and pilgrims with special needs are organized to do their, to get the wheelchair services. We make sure that the wheelchair pushers come to the hotel, take them from the hotel, take them to the haram, give them the service, which is get them to do their tawaf and Safa Marwa, and then bring them back to the hotel. We make sure that even the payment for that service, we organize it on our own.
In an anti-clockwise movement, pilgrims went round the Kaaba 7 times. After completing Tawaful Qudum, pilgrims then moved to the hills of Safa and Marwa to commemorate the journey by Prophet Ibrahim's wife Hajara to find water for her infant prophet Ismail. This is where the pilgrims will have the first taste of Zamzam, a miraculously generated water. Gambian pilgrims will now wait till the 26th June to move to Mina, which will be the beginning of Hajj. Babukar Sise, QTV News, Makkah, Saudi Arabia.
And we were saying all pilgrims a successful Hajj and that their prayers are answered. Now, as Eid al-Adha, locally known as Tobaski, draws near, QTV's Jennifer Sonko visited the Abuko Central Abattoir to engage ram sellers on their business activities this year. More in this report.
Eid al-Adha, locally known as Tobaski, begins on the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, which is the 12th month of the Islamic calendar. Tobaski celebrates the historic event when Prophet Abraham was commanded by Allah in a dream to sacrifice his son Ismail as an act of faith and obedience. Instead, at the appointed time, a lamb from heaven was offered by Angel Gabriel to Prophet Abraham to slaughter instead of Ismail. Muslims worldwide celebrate Eid al-Adha to commemorate both the devotion of Abraham and the survival of Ismail. QTV engaged ram sellers about this year's ram sales. All the individuals we engaged mentioned the same things to explain why rams are expensive this year. Abdu Job, a ram seller, blames the high rate of acquiring CFA for the expensive sale of rams.
Acquiring the CFA is very expensive, and I do not know why. If the government can do something, I think they should intervene. We bring these rams from Senegal, which means we pay in CFA, and when you arrive in Gambia, you are also obliged to pay entry of $300 for each ram.
For Salifuli, the cost of animal feed is very expensive, as is transporting animals and the expensive rate of acquiring CFA.
The cost of acquiring the ram is expensive, and the animal feed is also expensive. Gambians should try to venture into animal husbandry. Unfortunately, all the options of animal feed have increased in price. The cost of fish money at home is now equivalent to the cost of animal feed.
Lamin Kamara is selling this ram for $55,000, but is open to negotiation. He calls on the government to support young people engaged in animal husbandry to ensure independence of the sector.
Every time you
Gambians don't venture into animal husbandry. Whatever you see here is imported. The youth in this country can do this. Rams are expensive because people travel outside the Gambia to bring the rams. This means the person will sell the ram at any cost and customers will not have a choice but to buy.
Alajili is a ram seller, lists some of the major concerns and calls on the government to intervene.
Our major challenge here is the lack of water, electricity and security guard. We pay money to be able to sell our rams here, and the authorities make over $40,000 here daily.
During the week, Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow launched the Gambia's first ever livestock master plan. The plan is expected to contribute to the improvement of the livelihoods of rural and peri-urban communities, strengthen the productivity and resilience of production systems, and stimulate entrepreneurship in the livestock sector, and to reduce poverty. Hopefully, this will improve the rearing and sale of animals for subsequent Eid celebrations. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko.
And over now to security matters. Personnel of the Gambia Armed Forces have graduated after successfully completing training on core competences in peacekeeping operations conducted by instructors of Aliu Blondin Bay Peacekeeping School Mobile Training Team from Mali. Alicia reports.
The two-week training course funded by the Federal Republic of Germany is welcomed by the Army Command as a testament to the existing cordial relationship between the GAF and the Bamako-based Aliu Blondin Bay Peacekeeping School in Mali. The training will enhance the skills of the participants in any future peacekeeping operations. Deputizing for the Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, the Director of Admin and Personnel, Colonel Dembo Jayo, hailed the partnership and gave assurances of the Army's commitment to building the capacity of its personnel.
It is essential to emphasize that the significance of utilizing knowledge gained during this course. As you return to your respective units, it is critical that you apply the lessons learned to enhance your professionalism and equally contribute effectively to the peacekeeping environment.
Seba Mohamed Jara, Course Director, and Colonel Sidi Ali Fofana, Deputy Director of the Course Facilitating Institute, applauded the participants for their active participation in the training. They both recognized the peacekeeping operations as a strong means to navigate towards peace.
This in order to support the Gambia Armed Forces in the framework of their preparedness in view of a future deployment in both United Nations but also African Union peacekeeping operation missions.
We did not only enjoy the learning, but also a unique human experience of harmony, sympathy, and empathy. Therefore, I am confident that the 35 participants here present, among whom one female officer, will carry high the Gambian's flag once they will be deployed in field missions for peace operations.
Captain Kemo Kanute, who delivered the vote of thanks, commended the military high command for the opportunity to undergo such training and the training facilitators for the productive knowledge they imparted and for their experience sharing. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
And the report there by Aliou Cisse will lead us to the commercial break, but we will be right back.
Good evening, wonderful viewers from wherever you're watching us. It's always good to be back on this platform. Now, of course, this is the first edition of the one-to-one program coming to you on QTV on our studios on Caraba Avenue. And this program is going to focus on government ministries, departments, agencies, and it's going to focus on their policies, programs, and of course the challenges that are hindering the progress of the National Development Plan. So when you talk about the national trade policy, what are the key features that we are looking at? How is our trade imbalance?
We are bringing into this country more than we are taking out. We are probably missing out on a lot of information that could change the figures in terms of the trade imbalance. Secondly, we, as a ministry, we have been...
One-to-one tonight on QTV at 9 p.m.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Well, thanks for staying with us, and if you're just joining us, be reminded you're watching QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue, and I am Ansmane Sonyasi. Now, the Ministry of Health, through the National Blood Transfusion Services, in partnership with the World Bank and the World Health Organization, wrapped up celebrations marking World Blood Donor Day 2023 at the Brikama District Hospital. Loliam Kamara tells us more.
This year's celebration ended at the Brikama District Hospital in the West Coast region, where close to 90 service personnel donated blood. The team from the Ministry of Health addressed the service personnel about the importance of the day and commended them for their continued support to the ministry and the nation. Each year, countries around the world commemorate Blood Donor Day on 14th June to raise awareness of the need for safe blood and blood products and to thank voluntary blood donors for their life-saving gifts of blood. Safi Abiye, the Deputy Program Manager with the National Blood Transfusion Services, while thanking these men and women in uniform, pointed out the need for safe blood and blood products in our hospitals.
Unfortunately, in the Gambia, we depend more on family replacement blood donors, and not voluntary non-remunerated blood donors. What we mean by this is people donate more when they have their family members or their friends in need of blood within our health facilities. This is not the safest pool of blood donors.
Studies have shown that regular blood donation is linked to lower blood pressure and a lower risk for heart attacks. It also helps to reduce cardiovascular risk factors. Dr. Lucas Jata, Senior Medical Officer at the Maternity Unit at Brikama Hospital, highlighted one of the leading causes of maternal mortality.
Bleeding problems are the #1 leading cause of maternal mortality. If you have people like these soldiers coming here to donate, and then we have our blood banks filled with blood, definitely we will breach one of the leading causes of maternal mortality in the Gambia.
Dr. Jata also revealed some of the health benefits of donating blood.
To the individual who is actually also saving lives, you will be screened. And when they screen you, there will be some things that they, like disease conditions, that they can find out that you have them. So if at that stage they are not causing you any symptoms, if they find out that you're having such disease, you see early treatment can be sorted out.
Captain Bala Kamara, the Gambia Armed Forces representative, spoke highly of the event.
Let us come out in large numbers to donate blood, and not just once, but regularly. To avoid unnecessary deaths in our health facilities. Donating regularly will give us the opportunity to continuously monitor our health statuses.
Captain Famara Jassi, also of the Gambia Armed Forces at Yundum Barracks, shared his experience after donating blood.
It is very important to come and donate blood. The blood that we are donating is for every Gambian, not only for soldiers or for soldiers' family. It includes everybody.
As this year's theme implies, give blood, give plasma, share lives, share fun. The focus is on patients requiring lifelong transfusion support and underscores the role everyone can play by giving blood. On World Blood Donor Day, authorities also called for more awareness on the importance of blood donation. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
The German Agency for International Cooperation, GIZ, in collaboration with CEPRAS, organized a roundtable discussion to highlight the key challenges preventing micro and small-scale agri-businesses and smallholder rural farmers from accessing affordable, appropriate and timely financial services. Jolenjai reports.
The ECOWAS region faces many political, socio-economic, security and environmental challenges due to high unemployment and the frequency of natural disasters and security-related problems in its member states. The majority of ECOWAS member states have predominantly young populations. The Commission is committed to addressing these challenges through the technical and financial assistance of the Fund for Regional Stabilization and Development in Fragile Regions within ECOWAS, which is an instrument aimed at preventing and managing the consequences of socio-economic crisis through the implementation of tailor-made measures in fragile areas for sustainable development. Usman Toure, Senior Program Officer, FAO, highlights some of the things that the Gambia is not doing right in the agricultural sector.
If we all think that we are only going to produce to feed our family, then there will be millions and millions of farms in this country, but they will not be enough for the kind of growth that we are all looking out for the agricultural sector. The sector needs to modernize, and the modernization has to start with the farm.
Fatuddin Toure, formerly of the Central Bank of the Gambia, highlights some of the initiatives that the Central Bank is rolling out to help finance agricultural projects.
Specifically for agriculture, we are looking at supporting the projects as well as supporting access to finance through not only cash but also agricultural equipment.
Alaji Balajeng, Executive Secretary of the Bankers Association, and Babukar Kebe, CEO of the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce, spoke of what the government needs to do to make access to finance and land easier.
So government of the Gambia or whoever who must engage the banks through the association for us to have a dialogue and say what can we put on the table to have a monitoring period. If the bank gives you a loan you must not start deducting the following day. You should allow the person at least a year, so that after that she starts yielding this product, then deduction can start from there.
One of the key challenges that is actually discouraging young people is when it comes to land ownership. The land ownership, the land policy in this country is as old as 1997 or so. That policy needs to change for people to access land. If you want to take agriculture seriously, these are some of the guidance that we need to put in place to ensure young people get access.
This event is facilitated by SEPRAS, a national research center dedicated to the creation and application of new knowledge to solve Gambia's socio-economic problems. The roundtable discussions will follow the development of policy tools by SEPRAS that will enhance the Gambia's digital and agricultural value chain finance capability in alignment with the country's national development policies. The event also witnessed the launch of an expert group to develop policy guidelines for scaling up digital and agricultural value chain finance capability in the Gambia. This multi-stakeholder expert group is created to help identify obstacles and potentials for agricultural value chain financing innovations in the Gambia, as well as good practice and lessons to eradicate barriers for women, youth and the marginalized groups. For QTV News, I am Julden Jai.
And from the report there by Julden Jai, now on to some exciting sports news. Now, in sports news, a story we had intended to bring yesterday, the Gambia competed in their first event at the Special Olympics World Games Berlin 2023, male and female categories. Our sports reporter Mahmoud Kajaga, who is in Berlin, watched it all and reports.
Gambian athlete Anna-Marie Baji ran in the women's 100 meters level C and came fourth, while in the male category, Yaya Koli came fifth in the men's level C 100 meters event. Yaya has missed out on the chance to progress to the semi-final. Anna-Marie Baji stands a chance to advance to the semi-finals once the results are made official. In another development, the Gambia Special Olympics team were hosted in Warzen, a small town of about 17,000 inhabitants, before the games began. Their host in Warzen, Connie Haspach, says it was good to receive the Gambia team in their town.
It was so fine days with the Gambia team, and I think it was a match. It was a match. We are a small town, it was a small team, and we like to stay in contact also after these games, and we have many ideas to make projects together, and I think the next tournament is in 2 years. Gambia team come to us to an international football game. They are very friendly, very nice. I think we have the same emotions. It's what I wondered about, how deep our emotions in these 3 days.
Special Olympic World Games Berlin 2023 is getting more exciting with several sporting disciplines as it gets into day 5. Mamudu Kajaga, QTV News, Special Olympic World Games Berlin 2023.
And I'm afraid this is where we draw the curtains on this bulletin. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap from main headlines. After a few days' stay in Medina visiting holy historic sites, Gambian pilgrims on Tuesday left Medina for Mecca, where they performed their first tawaf at the Kaaba on Wednesday morning. As Eid al-Adha, locally known as Tobaski, draws near, QTV visited the Abuko Central Abattoir to engage ram sellers on their business activities this year. Personnel of the Gambia Armed Forces have graduated after successfully completing training on core competencies in peacekeeping operations. The Ministry of Health and the partners wrapped up celebrations marking World Blood Donor Day 2023 at Brikama District Hospital. And in sports news, the Gambia competed in their first event at the Special Olympics World Games Berlin 2023, male and female categories. That's all we have for you in this bulletin. Do have a pleasant evening and join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.